Welcome to Get a Life podcast with Kristen
and Steve.
Together, we are certified life and business coaches and consultants. Join us as we give you practical steps to realistic subjects based on our experiences that are attainable and you can apply to your life today to start seeing results.
We will talk about subjects such as time management, organizing your day, your purpose, getting beyond your past, and many other topics.
We want to help you take the next step. We will use our experiences and life journey to help you shorten yours. So grab a cup of coffee, put your earbuds in at your desk, or go for a run, and let's get a life together. Welcome to Get a Life podcast. This is episode 8. I am Kristen.
I'm Steve.
And today we are going to be talking about mindsets.
Yes, dealing with mindsets.
Yep.
That could go in a lot of different directions.
Yeah, sure could.
We could talk about different types of mindsets, and we may do that at some point. But in this one, we're going to talk about dealing with mindsets just in general.
Right.
How do we deal with different types of mindsets, both in ourselves and other people? The more you go through life, the easier it becomes to identify mindsets. The more you work with people, the more you interact with people, you start to learn these things and learn how people operate. How do they tick? What makes them tick? What triggers them? Different things like that. Your mindset, my mindset, others' mindsets do affect and sometimes determine the course of our purpose.
For sure. I agree.
So again, like I've said in past episodes, this is linked to your purpose. Our time management, dealing with barriers to our purpose, frustration, all of these things we've talked about are linked to our mindsets and how we look at things. So let's start out again. My favorite part.
Yep.
What is a mindset? So the definition of mindset is a fixed attitude, disposition or mood, an intention or an inclination. So another way to put it, some of you may have heard people say, well, that's their bent. What is their bent? What does that mean? What do they tend to lean towards in situations? How do they react? What side?
And you would be able to know how people react if you are aware of the people that are in your circle.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct. So when situations come up, how do they tend to lean? Do they lean more towards the positive, more towards the negative?
Yeah.
Are they go-getters?
And that's not real hard.
No.
It won't take you real long to figure that out if you're aware
Correct.
of the people that you're
Situation comes up in life, do they back away from it or do they attack it? Do they go after it? That's a mindset. Now, some of the way we deal with things in life is linked to our personality.
Sure.
It is. But a lot of it is based on our mindset. It really is. So how our mindsets develop. Now, we aren't therapists.
Nope.
We're not psychiatrists.
Nope.
We're life coaches who've been through life.
That's all. We're coaching you through life that we've already been through a few things.
Correct. So this is based on our own experiences,
right,
our own observations. We've dealt with people on different levels, and being in church leadership in the past, we've dealt with a lot of people, a lot of different situations and scenarios, different jobs we've had, different relationships we've been with. So this is just based on life experiences. So our mindsets developed, and I'm asking a question for you to think about, but also for us to talk about. Our mindsets develop through upbringing, life experiences, or are mindsets something that you're born with?
I say yes to all three.
Okay. So all three of those
Yes. All
can play a part.
Yes.
Along with some of it is linked to your personality.
There's nothing you can do about that part.
Correct.
Life experiences, and what was the other one?
Your upbringing,
Yeah,
which
well,
I guess
yeah.
is your life experiences.
Yeah, absolutely.
But, I think the biggest part of our mindsets is linked to upbringing and life experiences.
Yeah, but your
molds
personality as well. Too.
It's part of that, how you deal with things. But
right.
I believe the things we go through in life and our upbringing, how we were raised possibly, is linked to the mindset that was molded.
Yeah. That
we now have to deal with and possibly tweak and adjust. A positive atmosphere breeds a positive mindset. An atmosphere of you can do whatever you put your mind to breeds a mindset all the way through life where you aren't afraid to tackle anything.
Right. So if that's what you were told most of your life, you're going to say, I can just do just about anything. But if you're told, you're like, no, you can't do that, or you hold back, or you wait, or you're not good enough, or you need to wait for this, you need to wait for that, you're not going to be inspired to keep going, right?
Correct.
Mm-hmm.
Correct. I was raised, my parents always told me, you can do whatever you put your mind to. So maybe that's a negative. I've had a lot of different jobs and a lot of different careers. So maybe they shouldn't have told me that, but I had the mindset, because they always told me that if something looked interesting to me, I want to try that. Okay,
I don't find anything negative about that whatsoever.
I
that's how we raised our children.
I wasn't afraid to take on something
Right.
that might have seemed beyond my capability,
Right.
because I was taught, you put your mind to it, you can do it.
Right.
And so that created a mindset in me. Now, I know people that have had the opposite of that, and it's created a mindset in them where they don't dare to step out and try anything new, because I'm going to fail at it. We're going to get in that in the next episode, but I'm going to fail at it because of how they were taught. If I relate this to the last podcast and dealing with frustration, our mindset about life is a contributor to how we deal with frustrations, correct?
Yeah, absolutely.
What's my mindset about that? If we have a nothing ever works out mindset, then it probably will be more difficult to overcome frustration, because we don't have a problem solving mindset.
Right.
So the next question, can mindsets change over time?
I feel like yes.
Okay.
I think me as a small child, I was a people pleaser. I just did whatever everybody wanted. Like, I was just one of those kids always saying, sorry, oh, I'm so sorry, I'm so sorry. But as life experiences happened throughout my life, I started to get a little bit more tough. Because eventually, when you have that personality, you get run over a lot and you get used. And you finally start realizing that you are. And you start kind of, that part of me, that core of me is still very much a people pleaser. But because of life experiences, I have come up.
Your mindset is
My
developed
mindset
and
is
changed.
developed to say, I'm not going to do that no more.
Right.
Yeah.
So your mindsets can change
Yes,
over time.
yes, because of life
Because
experiences.
of life experiences, and
Yeah.
sometimes it may be for the good, and sometimes it may be for the bad.
Right.
I mean, I think
because now I, like to be rude, but I am very aware that I don't trust people. I trust no one. I have huge trust issues.
because
That's
of
not
experiences.
healthy, but it's because of life experiences. I wasn't always like that, but that's what happens.
Yeah. So it's changed your mindset in that area.
Correct.
And I think the older we get, the harder it is. Once that mindset is set, it's a mindset.
Well, because
It's
things
harder to
happen for
change.
so long of a time that you say, okay, that's the way things are. So it takes a long time to erase that, and a lot of more positive things happening in your life than negative for you to finally start seeing a momentum of, okay, maybe I can now change my mindset.
Right. And I found that how successful we've been or how unsuccessful
Correct.
we've been in life can affect your mindset
does.
and how you attack things that come your way. So those things are things to look at and be mindful of in your own life. So let me ask this question. Why is understanding how to deal with mindsets so important? Who cares? Why can't I just go through life? Who cares what my mindset is, or your mindset, or anybody else's mindset? Who cares? Why do I even need to know?
Because you're going to be one miserable, irritated individual if you don't. And you're going to irritate and make all the people in your circle miserable.
Right.
Because you're miserable.
Right. In understanding our mindsets, I know my mindsets, good or bad. I have good ones and I have bad ones. But I know them well enough that a situation can come up, and I'm not always good at this. I'm probably rarely not good at it. But I know, because of my mindset, how I'm going to react or how I want to react to a situation.
Me too. I know when you.
Now, I can just...
I know how you're going to react.
Lots of times I just let it go. And I don't do
Very,
anything.
very rarely.
No, let it go as in let my mindset go.
Oh, yeah. No, you ride the roller coaster hard.
And other times, I'll stop and say, okay, I know this is how I want to react, and I
Right.
can't. So understanding your mindset helps you to react properly in negative situations.
And it helps as your partner or your spouse or your family member to know that about them, to help them walk through it. Like just this week, we had a little episode. Steve flipped out. And I said,
because of
past experiences. So I had to stop and I said, why are you so heated right now? Like I wanted to kind of bring him back in and say, what is it that is firing you up? Like I get it, but I don't at the same time. So it kind of helped him.
Right.
Took him about 4 hours to come out of it, but he did. But be aware of your people in your circle, so you can help them through that.
Understanding your children, your spouses, your coworkers, your friends, your family.
Because everybody are different person. I cannot treat my 21-year-old the same as my 16-year-old. They are two different people. You have to come at them in different ways to help them through life. Right.
How you discipline them.
Yes.
How you reward them.
Yes.
This isn't just negative. On the positive side.
Positive.
Somebody's mindset.
I love talking about the 5 love languages. If you know anything about it, look it up. You can find it online. But everybody has a specific love language. You take a test, you figure it out. So, of course, I made my kids do it. One is that loves gifts. The other one wants words of affirmation. So giving the words of affirmation child a gift, she liked it, but she really likes you to tell her how good she is at what she's doing and what a wonderful person she is. The other one just wants you to just buy her stuff. So, I mean, you've got to learn people's languages so you can love them or operate in your circle. I keep saying that today for whatever reason, but so you know how to communicate with the people around you.
Knowing their mindsets. And again, and this is going back to where mindsets are linked to personalities.
Yes.
Is knowing somebody's, we've done a lot of personality stuff in the past.
Yes.
The company I work for, we require personality tests before we hire people. And it helps us. It's one of those things that we never used to take seriously, but the more we work with people, the more serious we take that personality test. It helps us to understand, number one, where to even put people in the company, but also how is this person going to react to this situation in this circumstance. So
you already know before you send the email with whatever reason you already kind of have an idea of what they're going to be responding to.
So this is where personality and mindset, though mindsets are developed through life experiences, they are linked to personalities at the same time. Yeah. So understanding the people around you, your kids, your spouse, your coworkers, your employees, if you're an employer. Some people you might have to handle a little more gentle. Some people you can shoot them straight.
And it's pretty easy if you really are paying attention to figure out which ones those are.
Correct. Yeah. Correct. Yeah, I mean, I played sports in school, high school and stuff. And in sports, typically in high school, if a coach has a girls' team, he has to be a little more gentle.
Some people think, you do.
Right, I know. That's what I'm saying. I know. Not
you
all
want to be
girls
politically
are that
correct.
way.
You're trying to be politically correct.
Not all girls are that way.
Right.
I get it.
Right.
But in general, if a coach is a little tough on a girls' team, they might go sit and cry. But a boys' team, on the other hand, that coach can sit you on the bench and give it to you. Yeah. And let you have it and tell you how horrible you're doing. Now get back out there on the floor or on the field, whatever you're playing, and do your job.
Yes,
and that'll fire up a boys' team.
Right, but when Steve tried that, like on our hormonal 14-year-old daughter, it didn't work out so great. Like, that's not going to work.
So you got to know the mindsets you're dealing with and how to deal with them. So it can help you in addressing issues. It can help you in assigning projects in a job. And it isn't, again, this isn't dealing with just negative situations. If the guys that I work with, if I'm going to assign a project to them, there's some guys where I can give them a project, and before I'm halfway through the details, their mind is already halfway through that project because they're off and running. They go. I don't have to give a whole lot of here's what I want done, and they're already doing it. And then other people, and this isn't a negative thing, other people, I may have to, here's the assignment, and here's all the steps that go with that to get through that. Both of those sides have positives and negatives. People that jump in too fast and move too quick, there's a negative and a positive. People that need every single detail listed out, there's a positive to that, and there's a negative to that.
Yep.
But it's as a manager, me understanding how they tick helps me to present that to them. Or if I'm doing employee reviews, how I Some people you might have to be a little more cautious on how you present that. Others, you can just tell them straight up, here's where you're at and here's where you need to improve.
Right.
Understanding
Some people
mindsets.
want it that way.
Some people want it that way.
do not.
Shoot me straight. Tell me
Right.
what you need me to do better at.
Right.
So mindsets and understanding them are very important. When you understand the mindsets of people around you, and more importantly yourself, it can make dealing with life obstacles and situations easier. Not easy, easier. Correct.
There's a big difference between easy and easier.
That's right.
Yes.
Huge difference.
Yes.
3 letters.
Yeah.
So that's why it's so important to understand mindsets. It can make discovering your purpose and operating in your purpose easier as well.
Yep.
Mindsets. There's all different kinds of mindsets out there
Yes.
that we can't get into in one podcast.
We don't have enough time.
But understanding the importance of identifying mindsets can be extremely helpful in all the things we've been talking about in previous episodes and the ones we're going to talk about moving forward.
Yeah.
Anything else?
Check out the 5 love languages if you're interested. I mean, you just type it in Google. They even have a little test, or you can order the book and read the book and do the test in the back. It really is a helpful tool for parents to understand their children, how to understand your spouse. I mean, you can't pass it out at work, obviously, but you can in your family.
Right. Correct.
Yep.
So good. Those are good tools to use, things like that. So thanks for listening.
Yes.
Today's podcast. Again, you can reach us by email, skyoungconsulting@gmail.com, or on Facebook at skyoung consulting. On the next episode, we're going to talk about fear of failure. All right. See you then.
Yeah.
Thank you for listening to today's podcast. Our goal is that you have some practical steps that you can implement today at Getting a Life. Don't forget to come back next week as we continue to talk about the subjects that will help you reach your life goals. If you want more information about what we do, you can reach us at skyoungconsulting@gmail.com. That's S as in Steve, K as in Kristen, Young, YOUNG, consulting@gmail.com, or our Facebook page, SK Young Consulting. And please share our podcast with your friends. See you next time, and remember, you control your day. Don't let your day control you.